Go as the White Sox will bat in the first inning. Brent Lillibridge is stepping in. The White Sox at 3-3, the Tigers at 4-3, and here we go. First pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Brent Lillibridge.
They say this cat could really run.
Well, Lillibridge 0 for 4 so far this year. Tried to keep him off the bases. He bangs one off his foot. No balls and 2 strikes.
Ozzie Guillen still searching for a legitimate, true leadoff man, and they say Lillibridge probably would be that guy, but he's a utility player. He'll play some infield, he'll play some outfield, and he's not going to be in the lineup every single day. So Ozzie's still trying to find someone to jumpstart his offense on a daily basis.
Here's the 0-2. Well, they tell us it is 37 degrees at game time today. He's in the mid-50s, or at least in the 50s, for the first 3 games of the series, and Ozzie Guillen all bundled up. Season number 6 at the helm of the White Sox. The 1-2. 2-2 now on Lillibridge. These are big games for the Tigers. Early on, they're trying to keep the momentum going. They have not played well against the White Sox the past couple of years. And the Tigers trying to ride that wave of a terrific comeback yesterday against the Texas Rangers. 6 runs in the 8th. 2-2 pitch is pulled foul down the left field line. Got a nice crowd here today.
It is a nice crowd for Monday afternoon.
Tigers, of course, had a spectacular day here on Friday, the home opener here in Detroit, and really the crowds all 3 days against Texas were good. Again, the 2-2 pitch. That's on the ground to third. Brandon Inge has a routine play. 1 out. So here you go, coming into play. The Tigers have a half-game lead, 7 games into the season.
And of course, we have not seen that Kansas City Royals team, but people that have seen them, they say they are much improved. You know, Minnesota's going to be there at the end. This White Sox team is good. It should be a real competitive division this year.
Well, not too many people are going to roll those Kansas City Royals. I think we saw some of that last year.
They've got some decent pitching with Mesh and Grink at the top of their rotation.
And Josh Fields stands in. He is the number 2 hitter. He has power. Off to a .353 start. Has not homered yet, but career against the Tigers, 7 home runs. That's lifted in the air to center. Granderson backing up a couple steps. 2 gone. So a good start for Zach here today. Ground ball and a fly ball. And that'll bring up Carlos Quentin. White Sox coming off a 3-3 homestand against the Royals and Minnesota. They dropped 2 out of 3 against that Kansas City team we were talking about. Quinn with a couple of home runs to start the season, batting .263. Last year had a terrific season, almost won the home run title until Miguel Cabrera overtook him really late in the season. Of course, the injury to Quentin kept him out most of that September. And that allowed Cabrera to catch him and pass him. The 1-1. Miguel finished with 37. Quentin finished with 36 long balls last season.
Well, you need to be careful here. 2 balls, 1 strike. Quentin's one of those guys that has tremendous power to the pull field. If you go inside, you need to make sure you get it inside.
Now it's 3-1.
Quentin was also hit 20 times last year. He stands right on top of the plate. Loves fastballs in and takes advantage of them.
Jim Thome on deck. There's a strike. Quentin thought he might have had ball 4 there, but it's a full count now, 3-2. Minor, 27 years old. He lives in Jupiter, Florida. Went to high school in the Palm Beach area, which I'm sure is a little bit warmer than Detroit today. That'll rattle around the seats. You remember what it was like hitting on days like this? It had to be really difficult.
Well, as a hitter, you try to cheat because you don't want to hit the ball off the end of the bat, and of course you don't want to get jammed. And that's why on days like today, if you've got a real good changeup or a real good breaking ball, you have real good success, because most hitters are a little jumpy on days like today.
There's a walk to Quentin. So the first base runner of the ball game. 2-out chance now for Jim Thome.
Of course, Jim Thome is very, very dangerous. Over 500 home runs in his illustrious career, and probably headed to the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. But you can get inside with fastballs against Thome. That's exactly where you need to pitch him. He's got a few hits this year. All of his hits have come to the center of the diamond. You want to try to crowd him, tie him up if you can.
And as you normally see with Jim Thome, they have that big shift going on. Not only 3 guys to the right of second base, but Polanco is way back there in the outfield.
It's almost not fair.
And that's hit back to the right side. Nice play by Santiago. Spins and throws him out. And that'll do it for the White Sox. No runs, a walk. They leave one. Nice defensive play by Ramon. Tigers lineup looks like this. Grandy leads it off in center field. Placido Polanco batting second and second base. Maglio in right field. Cabrera the cleanup man. Guillen is the DH today. Santiago is playing short. Your bottom 3 Inge at third. Anderson in left, and Trainer is your catcher. Big day for Brandon yesterday. Well, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Gavin Floyd. The White Sox get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, awfully hard trying to find an advantage for the Tigers when going up against Floyd. That's how good he's been against them in his career. But Polanco and Guillen have really nice numbers against him. And Floyd also last year struggled in the month of April. But he is most definitely a top of the rotation kind of guy.
That he is, and they expect things, big things out of Gavin Floyd again this year through the White Sox. He had a 7-inning stint in his first outing against Kansas City. Pitched well, did not win though.
He's got a power fastball. He'll cut it, he'll sink it. He's got a nasty curveball. Got a changeup he'll throw on an occasion, and a slider as well. So he's a good pitcher.
Granderson looks at a strike. 2-1. Curtis hitting .241, hitting safely in 6 of 7 this year for the Tigers. And that's going to go foul down the right field line.
I've noticed the first couple of series this year, opposing pitchers are really crowding Granderson with fastballs, cut fastballs inside, breaking balls down and in. Most of the pitchers that he has gone up against, that's exactly how they have attacked him. Very few pitches away for Curtis.
Grandy has 17 career leadoff homers. This one is on the ground to second base. Easy play for Lillibridge, and Grandy is out, 1 gone.
Take a look at the Chicago White Sox defense behind Mr. Floyd. You've got Quentin Wise dying the outfield. Fields Ramirez, who played second base last year, shortstop. Lillibridge, Konerko, they round out the right side of the infield. A.J. Przinsky behind the plate today. This is what Floyd did his very first start of the year. 96 pitches, just 2 earned runs. He walked a couple and struck out 9. Look out, Floyd.
Here's Polanco. He takes a strike. Placido has 3 straight multi-hit games, and because of that, his average now is at a plump 346.
He's a nice player. Real good player. Uses foul line to foul line. Stays within himself. Unselfish player.
Slapped in the air to center field. Wise cruising back.
You cannot make any money up there, though. Not in Comerica Park.
You got to have some big muscles to make money over there. 420 to dead center. Hard to hit one out in center field here. 2 up, 2 down, and here is Maglio Ordonez. Mag's still looking for that first home run of the season. Good career numbers against the White Sox. 329 against his former team. No balls in 1 strike. Floyd's a big fella. 6'5", 230. Out of Annapolis, Maryland.
Since the beginning of the 2005 season, Maglio comes in with a .322 batting average in the American League. No player has a better batting average than Maglio in that span.
1-1 is inside. 2-1. We showed the numbers against the White Sox. I would think now, several years removed from his days in Chicago, I guess the old trying to get back at the old team has probably kind of disappeared a little bit now. That first season after you leave a ball club, a little bit different than 3 or 4 years out.
Yeah, Maglio talked about how tough it was that very first year he had left when the White Sox went on to win the World Series in '05. He said he was watching the World Series and cried. He really missed that opportunity because he had been a mainstay in the middle of their order for a long, long time. But of course, the Tigers got to the World Series in 2006.
2-2 pitch is a little bit outside. 3-2. Floyd last year was 3-0 against the Tigers. He's got Cabrera waiting on deck. Now the full count pitch. Strike 3 call. Maglio thought it was a touch outside, but he's out of there. Tigers go 1-2-3. We go to the second. Detroit. And Walter Harris lost his life fighting a fire last November, and his son Patrick a chance to throw out the first pitch today, and really which was a nice ceremony. And the Tigers are hosting the entire Harris family here at the ballpark today. Nice gesture by the Tigers. Zach Minor goes back to work facing Jermaine Dye in the second inning. No score. Dye at .318 to start the year. He needs one more home run to reach 300 for his career. Dye's just been so consistent, so solid his entire career. In fact, no outfielder has had more hits than Dye, or home runs, I should say. And this guy really, when you look at his numbers from top to bottom, Rod, is kind of underrated, I think.
Oh, he's a good player. Not only does he do it from an offensive standpoint, but he does it on the other side of the ball as well, in right field.
Swinging a drive deep to left center field. This one might get out, and there you go. There's number 300. Zach Minor serves it up, and Jermaine Dye, who has more home runs than any other outfielder since '05, hits another.
Dye is just one of those players that comes to the ballpark every single day, does not draw a whole lot of attention to himself. Appeared to get a changeup at the bottom of the strike zone. Looked two-seam fastball. Just went down and got it. Nice, easy swing. Anderson in left field ran out of room. But we talked about the dominance of the White Sox here in Comerica Park the last couple of years. They have now hit 100 home runs.
Well, they just keep doing it, and they've taken a 1-0 lead. Well, Konerko looks at a strike. That gives Dye now 15 career home runs here at Comerica Park, which ties him with his former teammate Joe Creedy for the most of a visiting player in this yard. Tomey and Konerko are also on that list.
I said 99 home runs. Now 100 home runs they've hit here, but actually it's 100 extra base hits they have here in the last few years at Comerica Park.
It's a ton any way you slice it. Konerko batting .238. Dye has put the White Sox in front with a home run to left center, his second of the year. Now the 1-2. Trainer goes down to block it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Konerko last year was limited to just 122 games. He had really a bunch of injuries. Had a hand injury, knee injury, oblique. Played through some of them. Had a nice spring. Batted .364 this spring for Chicago. Two pitch. Full count. Minor gave up a walk in the first inning. Now a home run here in the second. A.J. Pierzynski waiting on deck. Rolled foul, so Konerko stays alive.
May not be all bad for Minor on a couple of occasions today to elevate some good hard fastballs to some of these White Sox hitters. They pretty much know the scouting report on Minor. Most of his stuff is south of the knees, which is where you want to stay the majority of the time. But every now and then you want to change your pitch pattern, especially when guys know exactly what you're going to do. Dye went down, got a pretty nice sinker ball, and was able to golf it out of here. And all the other hitters are looking for balls at the bottom of the strike zone as well. So as a pitcher, every now and then you need to change the eye level with a good 4-seam fastball. If he does it here, he may get to Konerko swinging at strike 3.
Well, Trainer is calling for the fastball. And it's drilled in the air. Deep into left. Anderson going back. Forget about this one as well. It's gone. Well, Konerko caught up with it, and that is his second home run of the season. Back-to-back shots for the White Sox.
It's all about location. You saw a trainer put down the pinky finger there, and he wanted the ball outside. I'm not so quite sure he got it away from Konerko, and if he did, Konerko went out and got it, and he ripped it to left field. It was a tailing fastball, not a four-seam fastball, but a two-seam fastball that just kind of ran right back over the heart of the plate. And the White Sox continue to play long ball.
They sure do, and that's 300 for Konerko.
Really?
These guys can hit some taters, can't they? 2-0 Chicago. Here's A.J. Pierzynski.
So Dye and Konerko have both hit their 300th.
You know what?
Home run?
We have to double check that. Dye has 299 and Konerko has 300. Dye needed 2 to get to 300. So let's correct that.
Well, if you're going to give up home runs, those are the ones that you want to give up. You want to give up solo shots.
That is true. Minimal damage, but still a 2-0 lead.
Edwin Jackson gave up a couple of 2-run home runs in the ball game yesterday against a good Texas Rangers offense. Tigers were trailing 4-0 late in that game. Came back to win 6-4. A lot of baseball to be played here today.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Well, as we peruse through the White Sox notes here, Rod, on the first page it says Dye needed just one more for 300, but under his bio it says he needs 2. So
either way you slice it, it's a lot of taters.
I guess so. Let's just go with 300.
It's a lot of trotting for Dye.
Pierzynski hanging in there, 3-2 the count. Minor threw only 16 pitches in that first inning, but it's been a bumpy road here in the second. We've gotten confirmation that was 300 for Dye. So 300 for Dye and Konerko on consecutive swings. Pierzynski goes back into center field. 3 straight hits now for Chicago.
Well, Minor just needs to attack the strike zone, even though they have a very potent middle of the order. You have to go right after guys. You have to make them put the ball in play. The deeper the counts you go into, the more pitches you give them opportunity to look at. And when you give good hitters, powerful hitters, an opportunity to look at everything that you're featuring, more than likely they're going to get you. First pitch strikes are imperative, and continue to attack the strike zone.
Well, 3 straight hits now for Chicago. And here is Alexi Ramirez. Got off to a slow start this year, just 3 for 20.
He's aggressive, though.
A wiry looking player. We were impressed with him last year. He had a nice rookie season last season.
Finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting to Evan Longoria. Longoria looks like he wants to win an MVP this year to go along with that Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, 5 homers already for Longoria.
I had already given that award to Miguel Cabrera.
Are you reconsidering already?
Well, Evan's making me think about it a little bit.
We got a long way to go. Ramirez, no homers, couple of RBIs this year.
He talks about the fact that he's a wiry guy, very slim, but he's got lightning quick hands, and he's got some power. He's got some pop. Hit big home runs last year for the White Sox.
He also hit 4 grand slams last year. Here's a ground ball to short. This should be 2. Santiago to Polanco on for the double play.
Nice firm feed underhand there by Santiago. And he's almost in that gray area where you want to go overhand. But he knew he had a little bit of time. He also knew he had to hurry. But you see him taking his body as he grabbed that ball, his momentum carrying him towards Polanco, the second baseman, and the feed was firm. And that's the key to turning the double play when you've got a guy running down the line that has speed like Ramirez. You've got to give your second baseman an opportunity to turn it over.
Here's Dwayne Wise. High fly ball. right center field. Granderson cruising over in front of Maglio to retire the side. Big inning though for the White Sox. Back-to-back homers makes it 2-zip. See if there's any Arby's being served up today. Tigers have to get it going now. They're down 2-0. And Miguel Cabrera leads it off. He'll be followed by Carlos Guillen and then Ramon Santiago. Cabrera off that 5:20 start bangs the first ball on the ground to Josh Fields. One gone. So 4 up, 4 down against Gavin Floyd, and we've seen this guy get on some kind of rolls, especially against the Tigers. In fact, he was 7 1/3 innings of no-hit ball against the Tigers last year.
He has that kind of stuff. When Floyd takes the mound, he has a legitimate opportunity, legitimate chance of throwing a no-hitter. That's just how good his stuff is.
It'll bring up Carlos Guillen. Carlos, the DH today, tweaked his Achilles in the ball game yesterday on that double, that huge double. Part of that 6-run 8th inning for the Tigers. But he's well enough to go out there today, even though he was pulled from the game.
Tigers don't want to make a habit out of it, but last year they were pretty good. Come from behind ball club. And Millwood of the Texas Rangers yesterday was just sensational for 7 innings. And when they finally got him out of the game, the bats just woke up.
Yeah, he had to be a little bit chapped at how his bullpen gave that up.
That's what I'm talking about. The Tigers last year, a lot of come from behind victories, as they did yesterday.
62% of their wins were comebacks.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That's probably not a good thing. I'm going thumbs down on that stat. It's slapped into left field, a base hit. Tigers have their first hit of the game.
Carlos left the game yesterday, I guess, with a tweaked Achilles tendon, but appeared to be running pretty good down the line that time. No problems.
Well, I saw before the game he had it taped up, but apparently even on a cold day like today, he's able to go out there.
Well, Leland said he's going to have to watch Carlos very closely this year. He's already had a couple of knee surgeries. He's battled a bad back. He said he'll also watch Polanco very closely this year, along with Maglio. He said he can't get greedy. He says when you have premium players like those three, You want to run them out there every single day, every single night, and they want to play every day and every night. He says, but if you want them for the long haul, you've got to pick your spots to rest your superstars on occasion.
Well, it gives you your best chance to win, even though it might compromise a lineup every now and then. To have them for the long haul is certainly much more important. There's a base hit by Santiago. Guillen running really well. Rounds the bag at second. He'll go to third. He's in there safely. Tigers are in business.
Well, Konerko playing in at first base, holding Guillen on. And Santiago looking for something inside. He got it. He hit it right past Guillen. Guillen had to pause momentarily and jump over the baseball. He also took a look at Dye to see where Dye was. Therefore, Carlos able to get over to third base, did not need the help of his third base coach, Gene Lamont, to tell him whether he could do so or not, because he knew exactly where Dye, the right fielder, was playing. This is a big run right here for Detroit. They've got to score this run.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And Inge will try and get it in. They have a man at third, less than 2 outs.
This is something that they work on every single day in batting practice. I hear Lloyd McClendon calling out a couple of bunts, a hit and run, move a guy over, infield back, less than 2 outs, get a guy in. That's been their mindset all spring. And it's really the mindset of most major league clubs when you're taking batting practice. Take batting practice with a purpose.
Brandon ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. 3 for 9 in that series against Texas. 2 big hits in the 8th inning. Got him on the board and then got him the lead. That's popped up. This will not get the job done. The first baseman Konerko, and the runners have to hold.
Boy, 2 balls, no strikes. A fastball at the top of the strike zone. This is where you want to do some damage. Looked like Brandon got caught trying to hit a fly ball to right field instead of just really letting it go. This is what wasn't one of his better swings. That's a real good fastball to hit.
He's going to leave it up to Josh Anderson with 2 away. Anderson in search of his first hit as a Tiger, 0 for 6 to start the year. And he lines one to right. There's your base hit. That'll score a run. Santiago goes to second. First hit, first RBI is a Tiger for Josh Anderson. So he picks up Brandon Inge big time.
It had to feel good. First pitch fastball right down the middle. Floyd trying to get ahead. And the Tigers know that Floyd's going to come right after them with lots of firm fastballs, because he really hasn't changed the way that he's approached them the last couple of years. And why would he? He's had success against Tigers hitters.
Now Matt Trainer with a chance to tie it up with a base hit. Tigers have runners at first and second. Trainer getting an opportunity to catch his second opportunity to start this year. And he is also looking for his first hit as a Tiger and first RBI. Oh, 2. Limited at bats against the White Sox in his career. Of course, most of his career, all of it up until now, with the Florida Marlins. 0-2. Floyd has given up 3 singles in this inning. Guillen, Santiago, and Anderson. Now the 1-2 pitch. This will get away. Brzezinski can't find it, and the runners will move up. Second and third now. Wild pitch.
You don't see that very often with Brzezinski behind the plate. He's about as good as they get behind the plate as far as defenders go. but he went at it the wrong way. He turned his glove not the way that you'd like to see your glove turned when you're trying to block a ball in the dirt. You've got to get over, shift your body, and turn your glove the other way to keep it in front of you.
Well, let's see if Trainer can take advantage of this now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, you know, Floyd is coming after him now. He's got Granderson on deck with runners at second and third.
Floyd is one of those guys the Tigers will just have to outcompete today. He's got great stuff. We've already talked about that. One of your better right-handers in the American League. You've got to outcompete guys like this.
And there is ball 4. He lost the number 9 hitter, Matt Trainer.
Looked like he threw him a little cut fastball or a slider. And something down and away from Trainer. That wasn't the 4-seam fastball.
Well, let's see if Granderson now can make him pay. Ozzie Guillen getting a little bit less comfortable here in the second after his team put up back-to-back home runs to take a lead. Big opportunity for Curtis, who bounced out his first time up. Strike 1.
Hey, got crossed up there a bit.
Looked like it. Krzyzewski rather took a couple steps out to quickly chat with Floyd.
Or get the ball down, one of the two. That was a hanging breaking ball, but he got away with it. And you can get away with some hanging breaking balls on the first pitch of the count.
It's way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Granderson 5 RBIs this year. He's got 3 men on right now. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Curtis.
The bottom just fell out of this last pitch.
One career grand slam for Granderson. 314 with the Sox full lifetime. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball slowly towards second. Littlebridge has it. And the inning is over. Tigers get a run back on the RBI hit by Anderson. It's now 2-1. Ask about it at work. Right here at Comerica Park, Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. And Rod, early on in this one, the Chicago White Sox take the lead. We talked about the fact that the Tigers just have not had a whole lot of luck against this team, and they came out swinging the bats again today.
Well, Floyd a little erratic with his control so far today. Tigers have been patient. They got 1 run back after Minor gave up a couple of home runs to Dye and also Konerko, but they have to outcompete him because you know he's going to continue to attack the strike zone, but they've got a good offensive ball club, and it would be important for them to take game one against this White Sox ball club.
It would indeed. The Tigers left them loaded against Floyd in that second inning, but they got one back, and now as we go to the third, Zach Minor will retake the hill. And for Zach, he will face the top of the order. Brent Lillibridge will lead it off. Each team with 3 hits. 2-1 is our score. First pitch is roped fair right by Brandon Inge down the third base line. Anderson trying to get it. It gets by him now and rolls to the wall. Lillibridge takes the turn but holds up. And he will pull in with a leadoff double. It's his first hit of the year.
Well, Inge at third base is playing in because Lillibridge has that kind of speed, and there was nothing that Brandon could do there, playing well off the line. This ball got past Anderson in left field, but with his speed, he was able to corral it and get it back in to keep Lillibridge at second base. And more than likely, Josh Fields, their number 2 hitter, will be trying to move him along, at least get him to third base by hitting something to the right side of the infield or through the right side of the infield.
Fields fly to center his first time up 0 for 1.
It's a good pitch there to Fields. Nice little two-seam fastball with some sink on it on the inner third of the plate. It's tough to hit that pitch to the right side of the field. They say Fields is a lot more relaxed this year. Of course, Joe Creedy gone. Joe Creedy, outstanding third baseman for Chicago White Sox the last number of years. Now playing for the Minnesota Twins, which opened the door for Fields to be their everyday third baseman.
Well, he's been a big prospect. A lot of power. He's hit a lot of home runs in the minor leagues. In fact, even in the big leagues a couple of years ago as a rookie in Chicago, he hit 23 home runs
and had to go back to the minor leagues the next year. How about that?
That's kind of amazing, really.
Good idea. It's a real good idea by Fields, knowing that Minor was going to try to pound him inside with that good two-seam fastball in the low 90s. It's a tough pitch to hit the other way, but it's not a bad pitch to try to drop a bunt down toward third, which would get the job done as well, getting Lillibridge over to third base. I don't know about you, partner, but I don't mind not seeing Joe Creedy in a White Sox uniform.
No, not the way he hits in this ballpark. More home runs than any other visiting player. He would just kill the Tigers.
But the flip side of that, he's come in with the Twinkies.
Yeah, that's true. Another Central Division team. Way to rain on the party there, Rod. Here's the 0-2 pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Josh Fields. Carlos Quentin will follow. It's the only day game in Major League Baseball today, being played right here in the Motor City. There's Quentin lurking on deck. This is a Sox team that can hit with power, really, from the second spot all the way down to the bottom of the lineup. 2-2. Minor last year was 5-2 as a starter for the Tigers. And Zach really performed well. In fact, he had a stretch of 27 appearances in which his ERA was 1.93. That was May through August when he pitched his best baseball last year. Just missed. Whoa. Ooh, Minor wanted that one. Where was it? Phil Cuzzy said out of the strike zone. 3-2. Fields had himself a nice spring. 391 this spring. He's been on base in all 6 of their opening games this year. And there is ball 4. Minor lost him.
Hey fans, this Saturday NASCAR on Fox moves to Phoenix International Raceway, where Jimmy Johnson will try to defend his title against a field of the world's best drivers. Coverage of the Sprint Cup racing from Phoenix begins Saturday at 8 p.m. in high definition on your local Fox station. He was able to get ahead of Josh Fields, no balls and 2 strikes, and lost him.
Now he's going to have to deal with the middle of the lineup. Number 3 hitter Carlos Quentin digs in. He walked him back in the first. 2 walks on the day for Minor. Good block by Trainer, 1-0. A lot of Detroit-Chicago action going on. Of course, the White Sox are here for 3. The Bulls are in town tonight, and the Wings and Blackhawks finished up a home-and-home series. Motor City taking on Chicago quite a bit. Of course, all part of April in the D. The 1-0 is down low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Was Zach asking for trouble? Falling behind this guy. 2 balls, no strikes.
He really needs a ground ball here. The 2-0 pitch. Instead, it's 3-0. .50 already.
24 of which have missed the strike zone.
Zach had a decent first inning, 16 pitches. But they're piling up now as Tommy waits on deck. And the 3-0. He's taking, it's a strike. Quentin last year, .288 with 36 homers and an even 100 RBIs. Before he missed the final 26 games with a fractured wrist. Tigers picking up the phone already. There's a ground ball back up the middle into center field. Lillibridge rounding third. They're going to send him home. Granderson's throw to the plate, not in time. It's an RBI single for Carlos Quentin, and the White Sox now lead 3-1.
Pretty good at bat here by Quentin. He gets himself in a real predictable fastball count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Quentin is a dead fastball hitter. The majority of his hits are to the pull field. But in that situation, he knew that Minor wasn't going to come inside. Therefore, took the fastball away from him, right back up the middle. Nice piece of hitting by Quentin. What a year he had last year for them, and you've talked about it. 36 home runs and 100 RBIs.
How about that trade they made to get him?
An absolute steal by Kenny Williams, their general manager.
Most trades, I think, are made with the thought that each side benefits, but sometimes they become very lopsided. That one was.
Former #1 draft choice out of Stanford.
Here are the numbers last year in just 130 games.
Of course, prior to last year, he was injury prone. So the White Sox didn't know exactly what they were getting.
Well, they gave up infielder Chris Carter.
Who?
Which illustrates my point. Well, Jim Thome, 543 career home runs. Only A-Rod and Ken Griffey Jr. among active players are ahead of him on that list. Looks like there's action in the Tigers' pen, and it is Eddie Bonine. Look out inside and high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And told me another one of those guys like Quentin that likes to stand right on top of the plate. They dare you to throw them fastballs.
Tipped, and that one bit Trainer. 1-2.
Thome also stands in that batter's box about as deep as you could possibly get. The back line for the left-handed hitters is already gone. Holds his hands up high, pulls them down right around the chest area as the ball's on its way. And boy, can he generate some power.
2-2.
Zach giving these White Sox hitters way too much credit. Yes, they're good. They've got great numbers on the backs of their bubblegum card. But it's a remedy for a very short day if you continue to pitch away from contact. That's why you've got the defenders on the field. It's one of the things that Rick Knapp preached in spring training. Attack the strike zone. Let them hit it. Hopefully they hit it at some of your guys. But if you continue to go 3-2, 2-2, 3-1 on everybody, that's when the advantage turns to the opposing team.
As it is right now for Tomey, who is ahead 3-2 with runners at first and second, nobody out. Minor trying to battle through this third. He has Dye waiting on deck. And there is ball 4 to load the bases. Third walk for Zach Minor, 2 in this inning. And Bonine continues to heat up.
And last time up, Jermaine Dye got a 2-2 fastball right at the knees and hit a seed.
And again, Minor missing the strike zone. Dye now has hit in 6 of their team's first 7 games. Tigers dugout hoping to get the word to see if Bonine is ready. 1-0 pitch.
This is the one thing the Tigers want to stay away from on a consistent basis. Their pitchers not attacking the strike zone. It's when your defenders get back on their heels because they're not anticipating the ball being hit, because there's not a whole lot of strikes being thrown. And that's when you don't get great plays made behind you. When you're working quickly, when you're attacking the strike zone, when you're pitching to contact, that's when your defenders make really good plays for you.
Well, in this inning, 2 walks for Minor.
And it's cold out there.
Yeah, throw that on top of the equation. And that's slapped back out of play. 2-2. Tigers have gotten a pretty good string of good starts, including Minor's first start in Toronto. He pitched out of some early trouble and really settled in and did a nice job. Today gave up back-to-back homers in the second. They've gotten another run here in the third, and they have him loaded with nobody out. That's drilled toward left field, and that thing is hooking. It's going to go foul.
Looks like Minor having a difficult time of really throwing a good breaking ball today. And he wouldn't be the only one that would have a difficult time throwing one today. When it's cold outside, your hands are cold. It's tough to get a good grip on the baseball to throw a good breaking ball. And he's left several breaking balls up today.
You can see by the wind ruffling through his uniform. Again, it's another windy and cool day. The temperature in the 30s today, 37 right now. Swing and a miss. He comes back to get Dye. That's a huge out. 1 away.
Good 2-seam fastball down and into Dye. They're running off the plate. And now he's one ground ball of getting out of this inning, and he's got a true double play candidate standing in the batter's box in Paul Konerko.
Boy, does he. Konerko hits into a ton of double plays. Ground ball here, and the damage is minimal. 3-1, Chicago in the lead. They've out-hit the Tigers 5-3. Konerko homered back in the second. And he lines one toward left. That's a fair ball off the line. It'll go to the corner. This is going to plate a couple of runs, and Konerko will cruise into second base. And it's now 5-1 Chicago. So he's off to a big day. 3 RBIs.
Take a look at this last pitch for Minor. We talked about the fact on a cold day, it's tough to really get the breaking ball down. Here's a breaking ball that's right down the heart of the plate. And even on the very first pitch where hitters are looking for a fastball, if you hang one right around the belt buckle, a lot of times those aren't going to get to the catcher's glove. Minor not able to get that breaking ball down today. And he needs to, because he's got a defender behind the plate in Trainer that is a really good defender and could block the ball. But on a cold day, tough to get it down.
Well, Konerko now with 3 RBIs here this afternoon. Still only 1 out of the inning. And Chicago out to a quick start in this series, leading 5-1.
We talked about it at the top of the show. And the White Sox coming to Comerica Park with a whole lot of swagger. No matter what the situation, no matter what the standings say, no matter what the time of year, they come in here and feel like they can win most games.
That's grounded to second. They're going to try and score the run. Throw coming home is in plenty of time. Tomey is out. He hesitated.
Had he broke right away, he would have been safe. It's the reason why the Tigers play that halfway defense there with a guy like Tomey at third base. They want him to make the decision. But take a look at it. Ball on the ground. If he breaks right now, he's safe. But he stops, and then he tries to start up again. And Polanco, looking out the corner of his eye, able to nab him at the plate. It's a nice block of the plate by the left foot as well by Matt Trainer, leaving Tomey no room to slide.
2 outs for Ramirez. This is the 8th man at bat in the inning. Alexi Ramirez knocked into a double play his first at bat. The native of Cuba, played 7 years in the Cuban League before coming to the States to play, and signed as a free agent back in January of '08 with Chicago. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, what a long inning for Zach Minor. This next pitch will be his 30th of the inning. And another curve that is slapped toward left field. Anderson coming on. It's going to be a fair ball as it drops in. This will get another run in. An RBI hit for Ramirez, and it's now 6-1 Chicago.
Well, Alexi Ramirez is out in front of this breaking ball that stays up, but when they're hanging like that, you still have a chance of putting it in play. Both Konerko and Ramirez getting breaking balls that were up, and both getting hits and driving in runs.
Now the 9th man to bat in the inning. This is a 4-run frame for Chicago. Strike 1 on Dwayne Wise. Wise fly to right field is only at bat so far today. Fouls one back out of play. Quickly 0-2. This all started with a double by Lillibridge, then a couple of walks. Single mixed in by Quentin to drive in a run. 2 knocked in by Konerko, and 1 for Ramirez. 5 runs spread now. Chicago in the lead. On the ground to short. Santiago will go the short way for the Forest to retire the side. Long inning as Chicago puts up 4 and leads 6-1. 6:30, followed by the game at 7. Red Wings playoff hockey presented by Bell Tire Thursday night on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. Gavin Floyd has a nice little lead to work with now. It's 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the third, and Placido Polanco leads it off. 6 runs, 7 hits already for Chicago. A run on 3 Tigers hits. Polanco, then Ordonez, then Cabrera. Slapped in the air to center and caught on a line by Wise. 1 away. Well, we mentioned the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Red Wings. Well, here we grow again. You can grow along for the ride. Just go to redwings.com or call 1-800-745-3000. Get your Red Wings playoff tickets. The Stanley Cup playoffs. The beard is back. DetroitRedWings.com. Hopefully another long playoff run for Mike Babcock and the Red Wings this year. Ordonez struck out back in the first. Floyd actually showed some signs of cracking in that second inning, gave up a run, then he walked the number 9 hitter Trainer to load the bases, but he got Granderson to bounce out. And misses high. 3-0. He brought this up earlier on curveballs in cold weather. I would imagine that regardless of the pitch, it's got to be difficult to get a grip here today.
You know, that's why they have the rosin bag behind the mound, where you can go back there and try to get a good grip on one. But Minor just had a real difficult time of getting his down, and as a result of that, they gave up a couple of hits on breaking balls. And Floyd's a guy that we can watch because when he's right, when he's getting a grip, he has one of your better right-handed breaking balls in the American League as well. So he has not been that sharp today. He's thrown 40 pitches, 20 of which have missed the strike zone. But he has a 5-run lead, too.
He has just walked Ordonez. Cabrera takes a strike. Miguel bounced out back in the second. He's 0 for 1. Konerko holding the runner at first base. High towering fly ball deep into left center field. Wise will watch the wind knock this one down.
It appeared that he got that one on the label. Didn't get that one quite on the sweet spot, I should say. We know when Miguel catches it just right, and there's not a ballpark in America that can hold him,
including this one.
What is Exmo telling us? Yep, down on the label a little bit.
The difference between a fly ball and a long ball.
Yeah, even with the wind blowing in as it is today.
Here's Carlos Guillen. Carlos got the rally started back in the second with a single and scored the only Tigers run. How good was Gavin Floyd last year? He won 17 games and made 19 quality starts. The White Sox overall were 21-11 in his starts last year.
He and John Danks, the pitcher the Tigers will see tomorrow, went into the season as the number 4 and number 5 starters for Ozzie Guillen, and turned out to be their 2 best starters. Their 2 youngest starters as well.
The 2-0 pitch.
Floyd came over a couple of years ago in that Freddie Garcia deal from the Philadelphia Phillies. What a great deal that has turned out to be for the White Sox.
Well, they have a nice staff. You talk about Danks, you talk about Floyd, you talk about Burley.
Contreras, when he's right, he's very good.
There's another walk.
And they also have Bartolo Colon, former Cy Young Award winner, who twirled to Jim in his first outing of the year for the White Sox. They've got a good team. They're going to be right there in the Central this year.
Comes Don Cooper, the pitching coach. That is the third walk now by Floyd. Giving the Tigers at least an opportunity to kind of climb back in this one. Well, this game is available in crystal clear high definition today on Fox Sports Detroit HD, and it's sponsored by Comcast. Not quite the sunshine and nice weather we had the past couple of days. A little cloudy and cool today.
We got spoiled.
We did. It's been a tough go of it so far for Zach Miner, who gave up 2 in the second, 4 in the third.
But again, not a bad crowd for a Monday afternoon in chilly conditions.
Downtown Detroit is the backdrop. Here's Ramon Santiago, singled in the second. Strike 1 on Ramon. Jim Leland was talking about his shortstop situation at the start of the year, and Adam Everett is the starting shortstop, but it's nice to have a guy like Santiago, who is an outstanding defender and really, I think, took a step forward offensively last year. And I said, don't be surprised if you see Ramon play a little bit more this year. Everett had a nice game yesterday against the Texas Rangers with the bat.
Not only does Santiago have the ability to play shortstop, but he can play second base. He's already gotten a start there this year for Jim. And he can play third, too, if Jim wants to give Brandon a day off.
Two 1 pitch. Yeah, those guys are gold. I mean, when you have a guy on your bench that can play literally all the infield positions, gives you some flexibility, and play them equally as well. Very good defender, Santiago. The 2-2 is low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Floyd now teetering on another walk. He's issued 2 already in this inning. Originally a first-round pick of the Phillies. Mr. Inge waiting on deck. It's popped up foul back out of play. These two teams have played in some poor weather the past couple of years. Remember the rain they tried to play through last April in Chicago. Of course, they played that makeup game at the end of the season in chilly conditions in Chicago. Cool one here this afternoon as well. See the skipper all bundled up. Fouled away again. So Floyd will try one more time to put away Santiago. Chicago controlled the season series last year. There you go, 37 degrees. Nippy. The White Sox won 12 of the 18 between the two teams last season. There's a drive into right field. Does it have enough? It is up and it's gone. Santiago with a 3-run homer. How about that? And the Tigers are right back in it.
Outstanding at bat by Santiago, who on occasion will play long ball. It's a fastball up in the strike zone. It's our Lincoln Exmo replay, and Santiago gets on top of it and hits it out of the ballpark.
And it's a 2-run game again. 6-4 is our score. The 2 walks by Floyd hurting him in this inning. The most unlikely source, or one of them at least, in this lineup for the Tigers. Ramon Santiago goes deep for the first time this year. He hit 4 last season. 2 balls and no strikes on Brandon Inge. And now it's 3-0.
Obviously, Floyd is having some difficulties himself today with his command. He has thrown 57 pitches, 30 balls, 27 strikes. Not the Gavin Floyd that we're usually accustomed to watching.
Not at all. And he misses again. A 4-pitch walk to Brandon Inge. That's his 4th walk of the game.
Hey fans, see the Tigers take on the New York Yankees April 27th through 29th for only $10. Mezzanine seats for all April games and select games in May are on sale now for only $10. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. You know, I noticed in that last at bat to Brandon Inge, Floyd was in the stretch. I don't know if he's not feeling comfortable in his windup today or whatever the case, but he was in his stretch with no one on base. Now, obviously, he's going to be in the stretch with a runner on first. But you do not see starting pitchers in this situation, nobody on, pitching from the stretch during the windup.
Anderson with 2 outs, singled in a run in the last inning. He tries to bunt his way on. He had the third baseman Fields back. 1 ball and no strikes. Carrasco warming up in the Sox bullpen. 4 Tigers hits now. Of course, the 3 walks in this inning have been very costly for Floyd. Strike called, 1-1.
How about Jim Leland putting Santiago in that 6th slot today?
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. Normally you see Santiago 9th if he's in the ballgame. Wave and a miss.
Put him in the 6th slot. And he's 2 for 2 and he's driven in 3.
We're going to have to ask him tomorrow what was behind that decision, because it's worked. Bouncer back up the middle. Ramirez will win the race to the bag to retire the side. Tigers crawl back into this game, though. Unlikely source of power. Santiago goes deep. The first player to play his first 1,000 career games with the Tigers. Good question. First Tiger player to play his first 1,000 career games in a Detroit Tigers uniform. There's your Aflac trivia question today. We'll get you that answer coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tigers, meanwhile, have clawed their way back into this game. Zach Miner will take the hill again, and now it's a 2-run spread, 6-4. Minor faced Lillibridge to start the third. He's going to face him to start the fourth. They sent 9 men to the plate in that third inning. And Zach 73 pitches through 3 innings today. Ball down low, 1-0. There's a strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike on Brent Lillibridge. A double in 2 at bats. Played his college ball at the University of Washington. The 1-1 on the ground, knocked down by Minor. Inge going to have to make a tough play. And he does. Got him as Cabrera hangs out of the bag. Nicely done all the way around.
Good anticipation here by Cabrera. One of the things that Rafael Belliard has said about Cabrera, he anticipates a good throw all the time. Therefore, when the ball is not a good throw, he's not able to make the adjustments. But apparently this time, he does make the adjustment. He stays on the bag with his right foot, and they get the out there. Good heads-up play as well by Brandon Inge, heading in that direction on a ball right back up the middle. Usually your third baseman is standing flat-footed on that ball because he doesn't think he has a chance to get it.
There's a base hit off the bag at second for Josh Fields.
That was a seed.
Oh, it sure was. Almost knocked that base out of there. Well, it was good to see Cabrera make that play. Belliard has said that Cabrera is getting better and better and better. And I asked Rafael the other day, what made you such a good defender? And he said, I wanted the ball hit to me every single time. And you have to have that attitude if you want to be a good defender.
But on most balls going up the middle, you don't usually see your third baseman headed in that direction.
Yeah.
That's an outstanding play by Inge, who's already made some dazzling plays this year.
Well, he's got another one to add to his collection. That'll bring up Carlos Quentin. You know what else Belliard said what made him a good defender was he learned to read, and he had to practice this, but he learned to read where a hitter's hands go through the strike zone will tell you where the ball is going to end up. In other words, a right-handed hitter is pulling his hands through the strike zone. He's probably going to pull the ball. The 0-1 pitch. Here's a high, towering drive deep into left field. Looks like they've got themselves another homer. They do.
Zach just doesn't have it today. But neither does Floyd on the other side.
This has turned into a shootout. 2 more runs in. And it's 8-4 Chicago.
And White Sox are looking for balls at the bottom of the strike zone because that's where Minor works. And that's another 2-seam fastball that gets way too much plate. And Quentin did it 36 times last year playing long ball. Every now and then, even if you're a sinker ball pitcher, you have to change the eye level of the hitters by going upstairs with a fastball and getting guys to swing at it. We watched Verlander the other day do it to perfection. Galarraga elevated some fastballs against Texas. It's a must every now and then.
Well, it's a wall-side windows pitching change right now. Bonin comes trotting in. We'll be back. indication that it just wasn't his day today. And to take his spot, Eddie Bonine.
Well, we do know that Eddie Bonine is going to pitch to quite a bit of contact. For the most part, he's a strike thrower. And on a cold day, your infielders and outfielders will appreciate that. Allow them to get into the game as well.
Meanwhile, Quentin's home run is his third already this year. Had a big day, 3 RBIs.
There's a lot of guys already this year off to some real good numbers as far as home runs are concerned. Longoria's got 5, Inge with 4. You said Quentin had 3. Our guy Cabrera's got 3 as well. Balls are flying in April.
Just told me he's made some fly in his career.
Well, he's trotted a bunch.
543 times to be exact. Pulls that one foul down the right field line.
On a cold day like today, usually pitchers have their way with hitters. But that's not the case. How about Maglio? He's playing on the warning track.
Just about.
Well, the wind blowing as much as it is to right field, anything up in the air is going to carry all the way to him. And the fact that Polanco is playing shallow right field as well. That's exactly where Maglio needs to be.
The 2-1. Chopped slowly to the right side. Cabrera. Tommy is out. 2 away. Bonine retires the first batter he faces. And now Jermaine Dye. This one has the makings of a severe slugfest. Neither team scored in the first. And then the White Sox put up 2, 4, and 2. The Tigers got 1 in the second and 3 in the third. Dye homered back in the second. Wind really howling now at the ballpark. Blowing out toward right field. Actually, it's swirling. It's coming in from left as well. Hard to tell. One ball, one strike. See the bunting ruffling through the wind. Well, if you're at the ballpark today, hope you brought your parka and a warm hat. Here's the 1-1. Hit the other way and caught by Polanco. He picked it off the grass. For the final out of the inning, 2-run shot by Quentin. 8-4 Chicago. A question again. Did you get it? Who was the first player to play his first 1,000 career games with Detroit? Was it Cobb? No. It was? Oh, it was Cobb. There you go. They had me fooled. 28:05 with the Tigers. The spikes are flying. Tigers now have some ground to make up. And Matt Trainer is leading it off. Trainer, Granderson, and Polanco.
Well, if they display the same type of patience that they have displayed so far against Gavin Floyd, who's on the mound for the White Sox, and they can make up the spread of 4 runs. And he does not have his good stuff today either.
Lined and caught. Ramirez speared it before it got to left center field. Base hit. Taken away.
Nice to have a tall, slender shortstop.
Wiry.
Played second base the majority of the year last year, and there were rumblings very early on that they were going to allow Orlando Cabrera, who was playing shortstop for them, leave as a free agent because they felt like Ramirez could handle the shortstop position. And there he is.
Here's Granderson. Curtis hits one on the ground, and the backhanded play by Konerko. 2 very quick outs.
For a guy that's scuffling out there with his command.
Yeah, that'll get his pitch count quickly in order if he can have a quick inning here. Polanco, the batter, he's 0 for 2. Placido both times flying out to center field. And Floyd backs him out of there. Polly has hit safely in 5 in a row, had 7 hits in the Texas series. Little chopper hit toward third. Fields waiting on the hop, and the Tigers go quickly and quietly here in the 4th inning. Nothing across. Let's travel to the 5th. Konerko leads it off. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. The Old English D has to come back today. They're down 8-4 as we go to the top of the 5th inning. 9 hits for Chicago, just 4 for the Tigers. Santiago has a 3-run homer today for Detroit.
Well, Jim Leland has said on many occasions when your ball club is losing, when you have to go to your bullpen early, really all you can ask of the reliever is to come in and shut down the opposing team to give your offense a chance to catch up. Tigers relievers did that yesterday. Brandon Lyon, a couple of real clean innings, which set the stage for the nice comeback from behind win for Detroit.
Yeah, even Edwin Jackson, after giving up the 4 runs, was strong in his last inning to keep it close.
His last pitch was 97 miles an hour. Did you know that about Jackson?
Did not know.
Brandon Innes said he was grunting out there that entire 6th inning. Galarraga and Jackson know nothing about what they've got in their hands right now.
What a bat. Their arms are golden, though. Bounce back up the middle into center. Base hit.
How about the White Sox hitters today? Their approach is pretty good. These guys usually don't live up the middle. But Greg Walker, their hitting coach, is a real good one in his 6th year with Ozzie Guillen as their hitting coach. And apparently their approach has changed on occasion. They'll take some knocks up the middle. There's Greg. He could hit himself. He was a really good hitter in a White Sox uniform.
Here's Pierzynski swinging on the first and hammering it to center. Granderson over there, though, to his left. One away. We'll bring up the shortstop, Ramirez. Walker played quite a few years with Chicago.
He could hit.
27 homers one year. Ramirez had an RBI single back in the 3rd.
He loves the first pitch. And a lot of times, as aggressive as he is, if you disguise it as a strike a little bit better than that, he'll swing at it. And on occasion, he makes outs on pitchers' pitches on the very first pitch of a count. Real aggressive. Real nice talent is Ramirez. We thought maybe after getting a year under his belt, get some of that good meal money.
Thicken up a little bit.
Put on a couple LBs. Apparently he's got that real good metabolism.
For now. Those spreads are nice after the game too, aren't they? Big league spreads. It's hard not to keep or not to put weight on with those spreads. 6'2", 170.
Soaking wet.
Pinar del Rio, Cuba.
He was a real nice find for Kenny Williams. He played in the World Baseball Classic back in 2006. And that's where they took notice of Ramirez. Signed him to a free agent contract. He played some center field last year. He played some shortstop, played some second base. And all the kid did was hit.
He started slowly this year, 3 for 20, but he has an RBI hit here today, and he waves and misses. There's that big wild swing. 2 gone. First strikeout for Bonine.
Hey fans, our next April of the Tigers telecast is tomorrow for the middle game of this series against Chicago White Sox. Coverage begins just prior to the first pitch at 1 p.m. It's Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports HD. This must be April in the D.
Here's Dwayne Wise. He lines one to right. Base hit. He was the only White Sox hitter not to have reached base, but that comes to an end with a 2-out single. Back up to the top of the order now, Brent Lillibridge. That's 11 hits already now for the White Sox.
And they came in not a real good offensive team, although it's early. It's the first week of the season, but they came in down at the bottom as far as batting average is concerned in the American League. Only the Kansas City Royals were below them. But they've got a good hitting team, and you know they're going to hit. They also play in a real nice ballpark to hit in. U.S. Cellular Field.
Strike one on Lillibridge. Doubled and scored in the 3rd.
They also ran into some good pitching, too. Kansas City Royals got a couple real good starters they ran at them. And also the Minnesota Twins have a good pitching staff.
Fouled back out of play. 0-2. Lillibridge was acquired from the Atlanta Braves in the Javier Vasquez deal. Originally signed by the Pirates, then he was traded to Atlanta for Adam LaRoche, and now has made his way to Chicago. 2005, the year the Pirates drafted him. The 0-2, smothered by Trainer. Tigers can't afford to give up too many more here. They're already down 8-4. Although they showed comeback ability yesterday, down by 4 runs late. That was one of those games yesterday that kind of lulled you to sleep through the first 7 innings, and all of a sudden the Tigers' bats just exploded.
And once they got Kevin Millwood out of the game,
yeah,
who pitched 7 strong innings for Texas.
Almost a souvenir. One and two on the leadoff man, Brent Lillibridge. Hit only .220 at AAA last year in the Atlanta system.
Usually .220 doesn't get you a call up to the big leagues,
no.
But he's got one tool that doesn't go in slumps, and that's speed. Get off me, ball.
So if he played in Richmond last year, that means he was a teammate of Josh Anderson, the Tigers left fielder.
Which means they had a lot of speed on that team.
They both can run.
Anderson can fly, and they tell us Lillibridge can run as well.
One and two. Two and two on Lillibridge. He did strike out quite a bit this spring, though. 24 strikeouts and 79 at bats. Bonine's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Struck him out. And that's all for the White Sox. You're watching Tigers baseball at Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
For just $10, you can see the Yankees. That's a real bargain. They're going to give away some bikes.
Yeah, every Sunday. Tigers trying to make a comeback here. Batting in the bottom of the 5th inning, Maglio Ordonez leads it off.
Tigers doing their part in trying to make it affordable for people to bring their families out to the ballpark.
Nothing wrong with that. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ordonez, Cabrera, and Guillen for the Tigers here in the 5th. Facing Gavin Floyd, who had a very quick 4th inning. Big swing. 7-pitch 4th inning for Mr. Floyd. Maglio walked and scored back in the 3rd. Two and two. It's somewhat of a quiet start for Maglio this year. Still looking for that first home run. Batting average at .250 right now. And when it's all said and done, you know he's going to be hovering at least around 300 toward the end of the year.
Since the beginning of 2005, no player in the American League has a higher batting average than Maglio. 322 at start of play today.
Three and two.
If you get to the ballpark early enough and you watch Maglio take batting practice, every single swing, at least the first 15 swings, he's trying to hit that right field line. Staying inside the ball, keeping his head down, tremendous concentration. Therefore, when he gets into the game and gets that pitch away from him, he'll lace it in that direction as well.
Well, that's his 2nd walk, and Floyd now has walked 5.
This more than likely will be Floyd's last inning. Ozzie trying to squeeze 5 out of him today, which would allow him to qualify for the win if the Tigers don't put a 4 spot on the board this inning. But he has not been sharp today.
Tigers have only 4 hits, but they've had a lot of base runners thanks to those 5 walks. They've been out hit 11-4 today. White Sox came out swinging the bats. Cabrera takes a strike. 0-2. Miguel walks out of the box. Miguel had some style in shoes in Toronto with the road uniforms. He's got the home white versions here. He wins style points for those shoes.
Absolutely. Look good, you play good.
Got him. Strike 3, and Cabrera didn't like it. He's going to beef now with Phil Cuzzy.
The last 2 pitches were both breaking balls from Floyd to Brzezinski. Brzezinski boxed them both. He didn't catch either cleanly, but both were called strikes.
Doesn't normally happen, does it?
No. Either he's got a new glove he's trying to break in, or just not seeing it all that well. The last 2 breaking balls called strikes. He didn't catch either one of them.
Here's Carlos Guillen. Straightens him up. 1-0 on Carlos. Pretty good day so far for Guillen. Single and a walk. He's come around to score 2 of the 4 Tiger runs. Way outside.
Well, coming into the game today, again, some pretty good numbers against Floyd in his career. Polanco also had some decent numbers against him. Good hitters count as well.
Now it's 3-0.
Must be one of those tough days for a pitcher. to find his control and command. Minor struggle today. Floyd also struggling out there.
There's a strike. Quentin was ready to toss the bat away, trying to coax a walk. Didn't like that call.
A lot of wind up there. If Carlos can get him a fastball inside, he may as well try to hit one out of here. Maglio on first base. You got to play the elements every now and then.
There's another strike, and Quentin again was ready to head to first base.
Last couple of hitters, Cabrera and also Quentin, not necessarily liking the strike zone of Phil Cuzzy. And that ball appeared to be up.
Oh, it sure did. Three-two pitch. And that is ball four. Now he can finally let go of the bat. How about this now? 6 walks for Floyd. 2 more in this inning. Ozzie may be trying to get him through 5, but he may struggle to do it. Carrasco is up again in their bullpen. Here's Santiago, who hit a 3-run homer in his last at bat. I wonder if he has another one of those in him. This is his first home run of the year, his first 3 RBIs. One ball, one strike. That's lifted in the air to center field and hit well. Wise is on the run. He's going to track it down. A tumbling play in right center field. Quentin is going to have to hustle back to first base. What a play by Dwayne Wise. He may be hurt. He ran a long way for that ball, made a tumble and held onto it. And it looks like his shoulder.
It looked like this ball was going to get over the head of Wise, but his speed out there allowed him to get to it, and it looked like he landed on that right shoulder, and he was in pain as soon as he hit the ground. What a great grab by Dwayne Wise. Took a triple and 2 more RBIs away from Santiago.
Santiago should be sitting on a monster game right now, but Wise absolutely robbed him. And don't know if he'll be able to continue. They're taking a look at him now.
Herm Schneider, the trainer of the Chicago White Sox. He has been their trainer for 31 years. And a good one. He's going to come out.
Chilly day here in Detroit, and Wise, after making a spectacular catch, will come out of the ball game.
You know what else makes that play special? Is the fact that he's playing Santiago in, because very seldom does Santiago display the kind of power that he has displayed his last couple of at-bats. And for him to be able to run that ball down, he saved Floyd's day, who's on the mound, at least momentarily.
Brian Anderson, meanwhile, will come in to take his spot. Santiago has put a charge into 2 baseballs here today. One of them a 3-run shot, and that could have been an extra base hit and 2 RBIs. So Anderson comes in to play center field.
Take a look at Carlos Guillen on this last flyout of Santiago. Guillen is all the way around the bag, and you can see Maglio pointing to him to get back. And of course, once you go around that second base bag, you've got to tag it as you go back to first base. Carlos did not think there was any way whatsoever that Wise was going to make that play. However, Maglio went halfway because he knew he would score anyway if the ball hit the turf in the outfield. That's good base running by Carlos.
Well, here's Brandon Inge. 2 outs, 2 on. Inge 0 for 1. He has one of the 6 Gavin Floyd walks in this game. Still 8-4 thanks to the terrific play by Wise. There's a breaking ball that spins in at the helmet of Inge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Floyd last year received about 6.5 runs per game, the second most in the American League. And he has gotten a lot of support here today with 8 runs. Parlayed all that offense last year into a 17-win season, 17-8. The 1-2. Checked it, and he didn't go. Ed Hickox patrolling first base. All bundled up. It's got to be a tough day to be a base umpire. It's so chilly. You really don't move around a lot. At least the home plate umpire is up and down. He's moving.
Jerry Crawford out at second has no gloves on.
No.
The other 2 base umpires, they've got gloves on.
Two. Another hook that misses, and now it's 3-2.
He is 1 walk from possibly being taken out of the game. Possibly.
And not qualifying for a win. Anderson on deck. And there is ball 4. How about that? 7 walks now. Well, let's see if that's the decision.
He doesn't want to do it. I mean, but there's a very fine line between allowing a guy to stay out there and get the win.
Well, I think if it's a 2-run game, he's out of the game right now, but it is a 4-run spread. So he will get one more hitter here, and that's Josh Anderson, who singled in a run back in the second. Bases loaded with Tigers. Ordonez, Guillen, and Inge have all walked. Missed again. 1-0.
I don't think I've ever seen Floyd like this.
Nope. Not against the Tigers, at least. Don Cooper on the phone.
He has thrown 95 pitches. Take one.
No, it's a line drive to right center, base hit. Maglio scores. Guillen rounding third. He's going to score. Inge coming to third. He'll stop there. And into second with 2 RBIs is Anderson.
I meant take one to right.
Well, now that worked. 8-6 ball game, and the tying runs are in scoring position. Will he get him now?
Well, nice job by Anderson. He knew he was going to get a fastball right down the middle because he's walked 7. He's in jeopardy of leaving the game. He's trying to get through 5. He rips one into the outfield and gets himself a hustling double, challenging the arm of Dot. And he had to hustle to get to second base.
A 3 RBI day for Josh Anderson, his second hit this afternoon. Here's Trainer trying to tie it up.
Long leash today for Floyd from Guillen. But I guess Ozzie may be rewarding him for what he did last year for them.
Could be. He's only given up 5 hits. It's been the walks that have been alarming. 7 of them. That's in the year to right. Die to retire the side, but the Tigers draw it closer. 2-run double by Josh Anderson. 8-6.
Largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your Tigers gear straight from the source at tigers.com.
They have any Tiger parkas in there?
It's chilly down there today. Got to give it up to the fans.
Yeah, you're right. It's gotten warmer though, Rod. It's gone from 37 degrees to 38.
Cool.
So we're getting there. Tigers are getting there too. They're down by 2 right now, 8-6. Eddie Bonine came in and pitched 2/3 in the 4th, a scoreless 5th. Again, the Tigers bullpen trying to keep this one close enough. It's a ground ball foul, third base side. Josh Fields leading it off for Chicago. Fields, Quentin, and Tomey. Fields been on base a couple of times, has scored a couple of runs. Here's the 0-1. Pulled to the shortstop, Santiago. Fields is out, one gone.
Tigers could use a 1-2-3 inning.
That they could. In fact, their staff has not had one of those today.
Meanwhile, so far, Bonine doing a very nice job.
Also doing a very nice job, the crew that we talked about at the top of the show today, the bottom of the lineup. They have provided 6 through 9 hitters all of the runs today.
All of them?
All the RBIs at least.
Wow.
Santiago and Anderson. There's a swing and a miss. Ramon had the 3-run homer, and Anderson has 3 RBIs.
I think one of the reasons why Jim had Anderson in the ball game today versus Timms or Larish is he probably felt it was going to be a low scoring game going up against Gavin Floyd, and Anderson gives him that element of speed which could manufacture a run. But we did not anticipate Santiago batting 6th, and that has paid off huge dividends as well.
And it could have paid off bigger dividends had Wise not made that great catch out there in center field to rob Santiago of 2 RBIs. 2-2 on Carlos Quentin. Close, no cigar. 3-2.
That's not a bad pitch. Breaking ball at the top of the strike zone. There are a lot of hitters that give up on that pitch, and as soon as you give up on it, it just drops down in the strike zone nicely. But Quentin is way down in his crouch anyway. You don't usually see big, strong power hitters this low in their crouches.
It's lofted in the air pretty deep into left. Anderson going back to the wall. Leaps, can't get it. It's gone. Another home run for Carlos Quentin. He had 36 last year. He has 2 today.
Well, many people came into the season wondering whether Quentin could repeat what he did a season ago. And he goes down and gets a really nice pitch. It's a knuckleball at the bottom of the strike zone by Bonine and golfs it out of here. How do you go down and get a knuckleball like that and hit it out of the ballpark?
I have no idea. It had just enough distance. It's 4 RBIs today for Quentin. I guess the answer to that question is that, yeah, he is capable of putting together another season like he had last year. Tomey 0 for 2 with a walk. 9-6 back up to a 3-run spread now for Chicago. One and 2.
White Sox always make this ballpark look small.
How do they do it?
I really do not know.
I mean, I know they have some good home run hitters, some power hitters in their lineup, but this It's typically been a more difficult ballpark for home runs. 420 to dead center, even with the wall pulled in left field.
It's like they come into Comerica Park and they're playing a home game.
Yeah. Ball's flying out. 2-2 pitch. He's a little bit outside. 3-2 on Tommy.
Not a bad idea. Tried to backdoor him with a breaking ball. You don't have to give in to Tommy here. Even if you're walking, he's not going to steal a base. Oh, he might have went.
Check it. Yes! See you later. Tom Hallion said he went around. Tommy is out of there. 3 strikeouts for Bonai.
Tommy tried to deke Tom Hallion, third base coach, into not calling this. Take a look at it. He's going to swing and then take off running.
Take a right-hand turn.
Get back here. He tried to deke him, didn't he?
Didn't work. Strike 1 on Jermaine Dye.
This much we do know about the White Sox. If Floyd is done, if they're going to make up the remainder of the 3 runs in this game, they've got to do it against a real good bullpen. Linebrink, Dotel, Jinks, Thornton. Real good back of the end bullpen.
Dye hammers one. Center field, way back. Granderson running, not going to get it up against the wall. Extra bases for Jermaine Dye, and that is a 2-out, 2-base hit. A laser out there. Second extra base hit of the game for Dye to go with his home run. He has a double.
You talked about it at the beginning of the show. Actually, the very first time he came up, this guy is a really good player. Hits the ball all over the place. Plays a real nice right field.
Consistent numbers every year. Off to another good start this year. Paul Konerko has had a great day. Single, double homer, triple away from the cycle. And while this is a good triples ballpark, Konerko does not really have the speed to worry you in that respect. He's hit a couple of homers this year, 5 RBIs. Paul Konerko made a franchise record 9 consecutive opening day starts at first base with his start this year for the White Sox. Early on in his career was a big prospect in Los Angeles Dodgers system.
He played in Albuquerque one year, AAA. Drove in 137 runs in 130 games.
Wow. I know that's a hitter's ballpark, or was, but still great numbers. You used to like hitting in that ballpark, didn't you?
I love the Pacific Coast League. All those ballparks were fun to hit in.
Colorado Springs, Calgary,
Las Vegas.
Yeah, there's another one.
The infields were all hard because it was so hot for the most part in a lot of those cities. It's like playing on AstroTurf, and the ball flew once it got in the air. If you didn't hit 300 in the PCL, you may as well packed your bags and went home.
What about pitchers, though? I mean, did they give you a little bit of leeway for your ERA?
For sure. I mean, they were elevated. It was tough to really get a good read on just how good pitchers were, because a lot of the numbers weren't good.
One ball and 2 strikes. 13 hits now for Chicago. And he got a piece of that one to stay alive. Last White Sox player actually to hit for the cycle was Jose Valentin. That was back in 2000, April of 2000, against the Orioles. And Konerko is a triple shy. Two and two. And the way this one's going, he may get a few more cracks at it. Skipper's got the hood up now. Just missed. Run it full at 3-2.
Well, Jim's got to be proud of his offense in a game where they really could have mailed it in, because they've been doing a lot of standing around in the field today. Well, they have battled back in this game and scored 6 runs, and they've got a few more cracks at this White Sox team to win the game.
In the air, right field. Maglio on the run. He is not going to get it. It'll drop in. Dye will come around to score. Konerko is on his way to second, slides in with a double.
What a day for Konerko, and what an at-bat by Paul Konerko. Bonine was able to get ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes, but Bonine doesn't have that strikeout pitch. Konerko worked the count back to 3-2 and got something up in the strike zone that was away from him, able to drive in another run with a double. It's a really good at-bat by Konerko. Most of the times at this level, when a guy's down 0-2, they don't get base hits.
So Quentin has 4 RBIs. Konerko now has 4 RBIs. And here's A.J. Pierzynski. Back up to a 4-run spread. It is 10-6. And Pierzynski with the base open will not hit. They'll walk him intentionally. Rick Knapp on the telephone. They're going to take their chances with Alexi Ramirez, who has an RBI single today. Here's ball 4 on the intentional walk. Put Pierzynski on for the 3rd time. And here comes Ramirez. Juan Rincon starting to warm up. Bonine trying to wiggle out of this inning. He's given up a couple of runs. 2 men on. A 10 spot for Chicago in this game, and we're only in the 6th inning.
These are the first runs the bullpen has given up in quite a while.
Yeah, they were great against Texas. One ball, one strike. Bullpen ERA coming into action here this afternoon was 3.43. And it really lowered quite a bit after that Texas series. Meanwhile, the White Sox have scored the most runs they have gotten in a game to this point this year, with 10 here today.
Yeah, their offense got off to a slow start. Their pitching was good, but their offense was behind, which is the case on most of the time at the beginning of the year, especially playing in the weather they played in. They played in some cold weather in Chicago.
But the cold weather has not bothered the bats today.
Not at all.
These two teams have combined for 16 runs. Jermaine Dye with a big day. Home run double.
Tigers hitters caught a break, playing 4 games inside in Toronto. First 3 games here at Comerica Park, weather in the 50s.
Wave and a miss, and a big swing to retire this side. Well, some sad news in baseball today. We lost a Hall of Fame broadcaster. Harry Kalas died this afternoon in Washington, D.C., preparing for tonight's Phillies-Nationals game. He was 83, survived by wife Eileen and sons Todd, Brad, and Kane. Harry Kalas, dead at age 83. This has been a slugfest today. Tigers have managed only 5 hits. They're down by 4, though. They've given up 14 hits to this White Sox team. And the White Sox will try and hold on to this lead here as we get toward the later innings. So we need to make a correction. I said that Harry Kalas was 83. We got some incorrect info. He is 73 years old. But Rod, one of the all-time greats. I mean, we had a chance to see him the last couple of years playing in Philadelphia, and a great voice of NFL football and Major League Baseball. Great man.
Always made me feel like I belonged in the broadcast booth when I was in the National League going to Philadelphia. And, of course, we've gone there with the Tigers. Just a really nice man. Baseball will most definitely miss Harry Kalas.
And Todd is in our family of Fox Sports, and his son, who is a broadcaster in Tampa, and we certainly send our condolences to Todd and his entire family and the entire Kalas family. Harry passed away today getting ready for something that he absolutely loved to do, and that was big league baseball.
As a matter of fact, last year he and his son Todd had a chance to spend time together as Granderson lines out to left for the first out of the inning, while the Philadelphia Phillies and the Tampa Bay Rays were playing in the World Series.
Can't be anything better than that.
Fox did a really nice interview with both of them.
One out. Here is Placido Polanco. Carrasco deals a strike. Placido 0 for 3. That was after having a terrific series against Texas, in which he was 7 for 13. 3 straight multiple hit games. Head of the count here, 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th. It is 10-6 Chicago. And there's your ball 4. It's yet another walk for Chicago pitching.
It's time for our Coors Light Freeze Can. We're going to take you back a few innings, and it's Ramon Santiago standing at the dish, getting a 3-2 fastball top of the strike zone from Gavin Floyd and playing long ball. That's our Freeze Cam this afternoon. Coors Freeze Can.
And it's freezing.
A little cold for Coors today.
I don't know if it's ever too cold for Coors. That's what I hear some people tell me.
Some hot chocolate today.
0-1 on Maglio.
Coors make hot chocolate?
I don't think so. In fact, I'm pretty sure they don't. I'd be willing to bet on it. That drops in for a strike. And Maglio behind now, 0-2. One-on-one out. Tigers hit in the 6th inning here at chilly Comerica Park today. Right back up the middle. And it's zipped by the second base umpire, Crawford.
Usually you're telling the pitcher when he throws to duck. But this time it's Crawford, second base umpire, that has to duck to get out of the way. Take a look at Crawford. Top of your screen. Watch out. Isn't Coors the beverage that turns blue and tells you just when it's perfect to drink in the bottles?
I wouldn't know anything about that, Rod.
Well, I think it is.
Is it?
You could set some of them Coors outside today and it would turn blue.
Right away.
Ready to go.
It's that kind of day. 38 degrees. Line drive, base hit, left field. Polanco was headed back to the bag to make sure. Now he'll move up to third. And the Tigers now have him loaded, so they're coming right back.
Well, Polanco's a good base runner. And Ramirez is very athletic at the shortstop position. Ball hit on the line, less than 2 outs. You got to get back. And that's his initial reaction, is to get back. Because you know once the ball lands in the outfield, you're going to get to third base anyway. What you can't do in that situation is get greedy. If you try to get to third base and you're trying to score and the ball's caught by the shortstop, then obviously you're going to get doubled off. A lot of times they teach you when you're playing Little League or whatever the case to freeze on the line drive. No, you have to get back. Watch Polanco, line drive, going back. Now he goes over to third base. Sometimes when you tell a player to freeze, just by freezing, that shortstop or second base catches it, you're out. Get back on line drives.
So as Mike McDougal warms up, the lesson for Little League coaches is do not freeze.
Get back. Less than 2 outs. Liner in the infield. Get back. You're going to get to third anyway, or second if the ball goes in the outfield.
Well, they're loaded up now for the Tigers, down by 4. And Carlos Guillen has been on base 3 times and has scored every time. Fouled away, 0-1. For 2 career against Carrasco with a strikeout. They were able to get Floyd through 5 innings. But that lead is in danger again because the Tigers are kicking up their heels here in the 6th. Big swing and a miss. Oh, 0-2 on Guillen. That is pulled down the right field line, but it's foul. Carrasco made 31 relief appearances for the Sox in 08. Coming to them as a free agent. Also big league time with Kansas City, and Guillen trying to get to him here with the sacks full. Little chopper hit toward first, foul. Guillen singled and scored in the 2nd, walked and scored in the 3rd, walked and scored in the 5th. Floyd left this game with 7 base on balls, and Chicago pitching as a whole has 8 walks in this game. Got him. Strike 3. Guillen is called out on strikes. Big out, 2 gone.
That is the last pitch Carlos Guillen was looking for. A fastball right down the middle. No balls, 2 strikes. Usually a pitcher and a catcher will waste one in that situation. You will not see many fastballs right down the middle. No balls, 2 strikes.
Now Santiago, who's had a big day. 3 RBIs. He is homered and he bounces it right back to the mound. And the threat is over. Tigers load him up, fail to score. We travel to the 7th. 10-6.
Best value in sports with $5 tickets, $5 parking, $5 kids and adult meals. For tickets, call 866-TIGER or visit tigers.com. $5 tickets, $5 parking, and kids meals for $5.
The deals just keep on rolling, don't they?
Even the adults can get a meal for $5.
Speaking of which, I'm kind of hungry right now. Hot dog sounds good.
Yes, indeed.
Juan Rincon is the new Tigers pitcher. So the Tigers had a chance to cut into that deficit in the 6th inning, but Carrasco pitches out of it. They left him loaded, and here we go to the 7th. Rincon will face Anderson, Lillibridge, and then Fields. Ball 1 from Rincon. Another tough customer tomorrow. You've got John Danks going for Chicago, but Rick Porcello will be on the mound for Detroit. Our second look at the rookie right-hander. Inside as Anderson ducks out of the way. He replaced Dwayne Wise, who was taken out of the game after making a diving catch. Three and 0. And there's ball 4, and it wasn't close. So the leadoff man is aboard via the walk. It'll bring up the top of the order now, Brent Lillibridge. He's also going to bring out Rick Knapp. Well, 4 earned runs in 3 1/3 so far out of the pen for Rincon in 2 games. Made the opening day roster out of spring training for the Tigers. Really pitched well this spring. And a bluff to first. One ball, no strikes on Brent Lillibridge, who has a double and a run scored. He's 1 for 4. There's a strike, 1-1. Tigers relievers coming into this game had retired 24 consecutive batters. That was dating back to Friday's game against Texas in the 9th inning. It'll go down the right field line. Bonine came out of the pen here today, gave up a couple of runs, both in the 6th inning. But by and large on this homestand, Jim Leyland has been impressed with his bullpen. One and two. Checked it, strike 3. Lillibridge is out of there, 1 down. And I know he's not here with us, but Joel Zumaya certainly is on the minds of a lot of the Tigers fans. Here's what's happening with Joel on the disabled list with a shoulder. He pitched Saturday in Lakeland. And the numbers don't look all that good. The good news is he feels pretty good, and he was under the weather in terms of his health. But no arm problems, and that's a good thing.
You know, that game was against the Yankees farmhand, and that one hit that he gave up to Gerald Laird's younger brother. I believe his name is Brandon.
Is that right?
Who plays in the minor leagues for the Yankees.
For Tampa, apparently. Well, the sooner the better for Zumaya, but as Leyland keeps saying, we want to make sure that he's 100% when he gets here. We don't want to start playing the shuttle again, back and forth. There goes the runner. Here comes the throw from Trainer, and it is not in time. Good strong throw, but a little bit tardy.
We've heard as much from Trainer in the scouting reports that we have gotten on him and watching him throw. He's got a terrific throwing arm. Rincon did not give him much time to throw. Fields taking off with a huge jump. Anderson, excuse me, able to steal that base. Fields is the hitter.
And the count is 0-2 on him. White Sox trying to get another run in here. The 0-2 pitch.
What was that?
And it's strike 3. Second strikeout. Fields didn't like it.
Probably too close to take with 2 strikes.
Phil Cuzzy pointing to Fields saying you're out, and now they're barking. Cuzzy has to walk over to the White Sox dugout to quiet him down. Here's Carlos Quentin. Tapped foul right at home plate.
Is it just me, or does Phil Cuzzy have a little Tim McClellan in him this afternoon with a delayed call?
Slow? I haven't noticed. You think so? I'll watch on this next pitch. Tim, of course, is the king of slow calls. Slow Indicators Club. He's the president. The 0-1 pitch. I got to wait for a strike, though, to judge. 1 ball, 1 strike. $14 hits today for the White Sox, 7 for Detroit. It's been a slugfest here. 16 runs in. That's popped up foul. And this one back amongst the paying customers.
Is dangerous as a hitter. is Quentin is. And he's got a lot of power. 36 home runs last year. He's already homered a couple of times here today. You can't be afraid to throw fastballs inside to him. When he stands in the batter's box, his hands are literally right over the plate, which means if you get inside with a good fastball, you can jam him. If you try to throw breaking balls away and try to fool him at the bottom of the strike zone with breaking balls, that's when he can really hurt you, when he's getting some extension. And he is right on top of the dish. A little bit of a wide open stance.
Came inside that time and missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes. On deck, the Tominator. Three and 2. Pulled toward left field. Anderson on the run, diving to make the catch. What a play by Josh Anderson. Takes another RBI away from Quentin. Nicely done. To 6, and for the Tigers, it'll be Brandon Inge to lead it off. Anderson made a nice diving play out there in left field, saving another run. Carrasco back to work, and Brandon looks at a strike. 0-1. The bottom of the 7th is underway. Inge has been on base a couple of times today. He's walked both times. The Chicago staff really walking the tightrope in terms of walks here today. They've had 8 of them. And they have needed every one of their 10 runs. Floyd started, went 5 innings. That one misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike on Inge. Three-2. Porcello and Danks tomorrow, and then it's Galarraga and Contreras on Wednesday. Tigers have an off day Thursday, and then it's out to the West Coast. Mondo's got the hand warmers on his ears. High towering fly ball center field for Brian Anderson. One out.
6 through 9 hitters have done their fair share of damage last 4 games. 19 hits, 12 runs, 15 RBIs. and they've been walked 9 times.
It's a lot of production.
Lloyd's got to be happy with that.
Anderson's had a nice day. 3 RBIs and a nice catch out there in left. Two-run double back in the 5th inning. Puts this one on the ground slowly back to Carrasco. 2 outs. 2 for 4 today for Anderson.
If Carrasco doesn't make that play, Lillibridge at second has no chance at getting Anderson. He can really run.
Here's Matt Trainer. Strike 1. Seven Tigers hits today. Santiago has homered in this game, a 3-run shot off the end of the bat right to the first baseman. Carrasco covers for the out. Tigers go 1-2-3. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Followed by Pistons Live at 7. The game at 7:30. Pistons basketball presented by Bell Tire tonight on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. This must be, you got it, April in the D. Here's Jim Thome to lead it off for the Chicago White Sox. We're in the 8th inning here today. 10-6 in favor of the visitors. Thome, Dye, then Konerko in the 8th. Juan Rincon is back out there. He walked a batter, but no damage done in the 7th. Galt back out of play, 0-2. Missed it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, Rincon used to log some heavy innings when he pitched with the Minnesota Twins. In fact, he's 4th among all pitchers in appearances since the start of the 03 season, and nearly 400 appearances. Today's 398. The 2-2 is fouled straight back. Of course, that bullpen featured the anchor at the end, Joe Nathan, and still does in Minnesota.
They've done well in Minnesota, and one of the reasons why they win every year. Their pitching staff is very good. They're fundamentally sound for the most part.
Back up the middle into center field, base hit.
And they have one of your better managers in baseball too, Ron Gardner. And he's an outstanding manager.
And they really know how to play in their ballpark too.
They do take advantage of that.
There's Jermaine Dye.
You know, the White Sox did something last year that had never been done in the history of the game.
There's another one in the center. That's a base hit.
Their last 3 games of the year, they had to beat 3 different teams, and they had to win all 3 games to get into the postseason. They ended the year playing the Cleveland Indians, which they won. They had that 1-game makeup against the Tigers. They won that game, which allowed them to play a 1-game playoff against the Minnesota Twins, eventually winning that game 1-0, which put them in the postseason. That had never been done in the history of the game.
Producing under pressure there.
3 wins, 3 must wins at the end of the year. You know, there's still a lot of people talking about the fact that they flipped a coin at the end of the year, which allowed the White Sox to play the home game against Minnesota, even though Minnesota during the course of the year had a better winning record against the White Sox. They changed that rule, however.
The 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
If that ever comes up again, then whichever team has the most wins head-to-head will host the 1-game playoff.
Which is probably a better way to do it.
Absolutely.
There's the records against the Central. Chicago won 44 against teams in their own division, and that's why they had a chance to move on. And you see the Tigers had only 27 wins against the Central Division. That's why they struggled and finished in last place.
Last few years, whichever team plays the best within the division, at least in the Central, has been the team that's gotten to the playoffs.
Well, with a balanced schedule, that probably wouldn't mean as much, but with the unbalanced schedule, and you play teams within your division so many times, that becomes critical. 18 to 19 times a year. Konerko, the hitter. And in 2007, Cleveland won the division, and they won 48 within the Central.
Cleveland won 96 ball games that year.
Yeah. The 2-1. Popped in the air. Shallow right, Maglio coming in. Konerko is out. And just for good measure, why don't we go back to 2006? And the Tigers won 45 times within the Central Division. They won the wild card, though. Minnesota was actually division winner, but they were in there with the second best division record. Here's A.J. Pierzynski. Sox have 16 hits now, and early on this season, that's the most the Tigers staff has given up in a game. They gave up 15 against Toronto back on April 6th. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on A.J. Pierzynski.
Well, be careful here if you throw A.J. a breaking ball. He makes very nice adjustments against breaking balls and usually does not miss them. There was a time when he was catching Juan Rincon.
True. Minnesota. You almost forget about those days. Did he go to San Francisco?
San Francisco for 1 year. He has done nice work for the White Sox the last number of years.
The 1-2 pitch. Got him. Strike 3. Pierzynski turns around and heads back to the bench.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch. Rick Cohn going after Pierzynski. And we told you they're former teammates, and it appeared that Pierzynski may have been sitting on something soft, a breaking ball from Rincon, and he crowded him with a fastball for strike 2. And AJ took strike 3 right down Broadway, courtesy of Bell Tire.
So Rincon now will face Alexi Ramirez with 2 outs. Inning started with a couple of base hits. Ramirez has an RBI today. Little pop up, foul ground. Cabrera can't get there. Sliding attempt. May need a little patchwork on the uniform. Here's the 1-1. Good stop there by Trainer, holding the runners.
Take a look at Trainer shift his body. He knows the breaking ball's coming. You anticipate it being down, so you shift your body to the right. You make sure you close your legs and get your glove in between your legs so the ball does not get between. It's a nice job there. Nice block.
Chopper left side. Inge will let it go to Santiago. They'll get the force. And the side retired. They get a couple of hits. Strand 2. Bottom of the 8th on the way. 10-6. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849. You know what that means? It is time for our Comerica game summary. Dye and Konerko each hitting their 300th career home runs. In fact, they hit them back to back early in the game. Santiago has gone deep in this one, and Josh Anderson, nice game today. Nice catch out and left and a couple of hits, 3 RBIs. But the Tigers trail 10-6, and that's the most important stat. Curtis Granderson leads it off against the new pitcher Thornton, the left-hander coming in.
I bet that's something else that's never been done in the history of the game. 2 guys hitting their 300th career home run the same day, back to back.
I think you're right. It'd be tough to look up, but I'm sure that'd be difficult to do.
Thornton's a nice piece. He's a nice option for Ozzie Guillen at the back end of his bullpen, especially late in games against left-handed hitters. He throws hard, 94 to 97. Nice little breaking ball. They got a nice bullpen. Do the White Sox. They got Dotel. They got Bobby Jenks. Big bad Bobby Jenks.
He's been big and he's been really good against the Tigers, Bobby Jenks.
And really, that's how you win in this division. You have to pitch and you have to play good defense, because just about every team has a good offense. You know, whether it be that pesky offense that Minnesota will run at you with some occasional power, or the White Sox, or the Tigers.
This one's going to be trouble. Down and all the way to the wall, to the gap. Polanco might get 3 out of this. Let's see. He's going to try. Here comes the relay throw. It hit him. And Placido will hold at third with a 1-out triple.
That's a good play there. And we've been doing some teaching today as far as base running is concerned. And here's another opportunity. When you hit the baseball in the left center field, and you're rounding second base or you're approaching second base, if you're Polanco, there's no need whatsoever for you to look over to third base to the third base coach, Gene Lamont, to tell you whether you can get to third base or not. You make up this decision by yourself. Now you start to run. Once you start to approach second base, you can see what's going on. No need in taking a look to the third base coach. It's all on you.
So the Tigers, who came back with that big 8th inning yesterday, trying to put together another big 8th inning today. Ordonez RBI chance.
Thornton, a nice easy 94, 95. You don't usually see left-handers throwing this hard. He's a big boy, though. Short sleeves on.
He's throwing darts.
Little bitty ones.
3-0. We're getting word on Dwayne Wise, a separated right shoulder.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it. Just tell by the way that he hit the ground after making that catch. Extended the way that he was extended.
Shades of Polanco a couple of years ago in Boston.
And all the pressure of his body landing on that shoulder back in the 5th inning. It's a great catch. As soon as he hit the ground, he started grimacing in pain.
Cabrera now with runners at first and third, 1 out. Tigers all of a sudden have put the tying run into the on-deck circle. There's a strike called. 0-2, and Cabrera seemingly today has been behind in the count. It seems all day long. He had a single back in the 7th. It's off the end of the bat, foul. Brzezinski smothers that one. 2-2 now on Cabrera. Polanco started this rally with a triple, and then Ordonez walked. Outside, 97 miles an hour. Now the count 2-2. Thornton out of Three Rivers, Michigan. Fouled away. Thornton played 3 seasons at Grand Valley State. basketball and baseball. Wave and a miss. Cabrera is down on strikes. So that's his second strikeout of this inning.
You've got to give Thornton some credit, going after arguably one of your better right-handed hitters in the game today. If you're going to get beat in this situation, you want to get beat with your best pitch, and Thornton's best pitch is that 97-mile power fastball.
So with 2 outs, Guillen. Carlos on base 3 times today.
Looks like when the velocity drops to the 93, 94 mile per hour range, he cuts it a little bit, which could be a real devastating pitch against right-handed hitters. It starts right down the middle. You start your swing, next thing you know, and the ball's on your knuckles. Well, what is Comcast telling us about Matt Thornton? High of 97, 85 of a low.
He had really good numbers, as you might expect, against left-handed hitters last year. They hit just 171 against him. The pitcher who had the best numbers against left-handed hitters happened to be right-handed, but it's a special right-hander, Mariano Rivera.
He is still getting her done, isn't he?
It's unbelievable. He's headed to the Hall, isn't he?
Oh, for sure. First ballot.
1-2.
What a classy guy, too. What a gentleman.
Carlos stays alive. Yeah, he always seems to have that calm demeanor about him, especially playing on that stage in that city with all the scrutiny.
Real gentleman. He's racked up a ton of saves, but you never see him showing anybody up. No dancing on the mound.
2-2.
No fist pumping.
Tigers have been doubled up in the hit column today, 16-8. Two-two pitch. Fouled straight back. Just got a piece of it. If Guillen keeps it going, you've got Santiago waiting on deck. He's had a nice day offensively. Ramon with 3 RBIs. He's homered in the game. Marcus getting loose just in case he's needed. It's pulled, and a diving stop by Fields to his feet to throw him out. Fields with a nice play at third base, and the Tigers will strand a couple. So 8 innings in the books here at Comerica Park as we go to the 9th inning. Sox still on top. 16 hits today for the White Sox. The Tigers as a team gave up 13 total hits in the 3-game series against Texas. Anderson is getting his second at bat. He walked, stole a base, didn't score in the 7th. He was the first batter that Rincon faced when Juan came out of the pen. Two balls, no strikes. And again tomorrow here at the ballpark for game 2, Rick Porcello, John Danks. It's going to go to 3-0. Ball 4, lost him on 4 pitches. He's walked Anderson twice now. Well, here you have it. Here's your matchup tomorrow.
And John Danks had a sensational season last year for the White Sox, winning 12 games and won that 1-game playoff we were talking about earlier against the Minnesota Twins. He was real good in that game. And Porcello, numbers a little bit deceiving, 7.20 earned run average after 1 start. But I really liked what I witnessed out of Porcello in his major league debut against Toronto.
Yeah, he looked better than the numbers. We'll get another crack at another pretty good offense, the White Sox, tomorrow.
He's going to be fun to watch. Matt Trainer caught Porcello in that game in Toronto and said he just didn't have a good feel for his breaking ball that day. But his fastball was electric with real good movement.
Danks won 12 games last year for Chicago. He'll oppose him. Lillibridge is 1 for 5. The White Sox have not had a 1-2-3 inning all day today. Ooh, that one got Trainer. He drops to his knees.
You know, that hurt on a cold day like today. Right off the right instep. One of my former broadcast partners, Joe Garagiola Sr., used to call them tools of intelligence.
There goes the runner, and it's fouled back out of play.
But there are some that call them tools of ignorance.
And Joe, of course, caught. But you need plenty of tools for protection behind the plate. I guess they say sometimes catchers are kind of like goalies. You got to be a little bit different to want to play that position. You take a pounding on a daily basis. Here's the 1-2. Strike called. See you later. Lillibridge out of there.
We've seen a lot of called third strikes today on both sides. And they're usually on fastballs right down the middle. A lot of guys doing a lot of guessing today with 2 strikes.
Now Josh Fields, 1 on, 1 out. Fields has scored twice, walking a single.
I've got 7 strikeouts today between the 2 teams looking. Either it's a wide strike zone or guys are doing a lot of guessing.
Well, I'm probably going to lean toward wide strike zone. You think they're guessing?
Some of them have been, for sure.
Phil Cuzzy, the home plate umpire today. The 0-1 runner goes. Swing and a miss. Here comes the throw from Trainer. It's high and off target.
He had no chance. And Trainer can throw. But usually when a base runner gets that big a jump and the catcher decides to throw the ball down to second base, you'll see the throw go to the second base side of the bag because they're rushing. That front shoulder opens up. The arm lags. Therefore, you don't make a good throw down there. Almost happens all the time when catchers rush their throw down to second base.
Strike call. You're right. There's another one. How many's that? 8 now?
Fastball right down Broadway.
5 for Rincon. Carlos Quentin. Looking ahead, the Tigers will have Santiago, Inge, and Anderson due up.
I guarantee you he won't be looking for a third called strike.
Quentin 2 homers today. He has 4 RBIs, and had it not been for a diving catch by Anderson in the 7th inning, he would have had another RBI. And he popped him up. See if it stays in play. Coming back toward the dugout, out of play. About a row back. They'll battle for it.
Let's take a look at this pitch to Quentin, who we've talked about stands right on top of the plate. He's a guy that you got to crowd. They wanted it in, but the ball leaked out over the plate. But he was still a little late on it.
That's popped up again. This one will stay in play to the shortstop.
That's where you got to pitch it.
Nothing comes to the leadoff walk. Last chance coming up for the Tigers. Santiago, Inge, and Anderson. Last call for the Tigers. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. They're down by 4 runs, 10-6. They've been out hit 16-8 today. And Jim Leyland looking for another late comeback here this afternoon if they want to put this one in the win column. New pitcher is Scott Linebrink.
Linebrink did a very nice job for the White Sox last year, his first year with them. He pitched in only 50 games. He had some back problems, which kind of limited how much he pitched in the second half of the year. But the first half of the year, he was awfully good for Ozzie Guillen.
Line Brink, a veteran, broke in originally with San Francisco. Santiago leads it off for the Tigers.
Before last year, he had pitched in at least 70 games in 4 consecutive years. So he's one of those guys that will go out there and be very effective for you.
And he delivers a strike, 1-1. Inge and then Anderson to follow here. A lot of those 70 game appearances came with San Diego. Here's a bunt. Library can't get it. And safe is Santiago with a bunt hit. It's his 3rd hit today.
Santiago couldn't have rolled it out there any better. He takes his time. He makes sure he stays in the batter's box until he makes contact with it. Therefore, you're able to place the ball where you want to. I thought Linebrick was going to get to this, but he seemed to slow down as he was getting to it. Therefore, he got underneath his glove, and he was not able to make the play.
Leadoff man on. Here's Brandon Inge. For 2 today with a couple of walks. Linebrink fires one in the dirt. So Santiago with 3 hits, 3 RBIs. One and one. It's the 9th Tigers hit in this game. Strike call. 1-2. Well, just in case, Jose Guillen has decided to get Bobby Jenks running. Interesting beard. The 1-2 is fouled back.
Looks like he's allowed that chin hair to grow all winter.
He's added a couple of inches to that beard.
It's straight too, like he permed it or something. Got
a little hairspray in it, a little gel.
Got a little relaxer on that bad boy.
Relaxer?
Yeah.
Inches out of there on strikes. And that's going to bring up Josh Anderson.
You never permed your hair or anything like that?
Are you kidding me? Have you seen my hair?
No, I mean, when you were younger, you had some hair, right?
I had a lot of hair when I was young. Went down to my waist.
I'm not trying to be funny.
Mother Nature hasn't been too good to me lately, though. Here's Anderson. He has 3 RBIs. Trying to keep it going here. The leadoff bunt single by Santiago. It's fouled back out of play. 1-1. Anderson picked up his first 3 RBIs of the year in this game. Two and one. This ball game has breached the 3-hour mark.
I think it's our first 3-hour game of the year.
I think you're right.
Lots of walks today, though.
That's why.
Lots of walks, lots of hits, lots of runs being scored on a cold afternoon. But I guarantee it's a lot colder for the guys in the third base dugout than it is for the guys on the other side.
Here's the 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed. Down he goes. Linebrink picks up the strikeout, 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to Jeff Larish, who is going to pinch hit for Matt Trainer. Last chance for the Tigers is Larish. Trying to keep it going for Granderson. Runner going, and there will be no throw as Santiago takes second base standing up. Larish has a home run this year. Couple of hits. One home run today for the Tigers. The Santiago 3-run shot. Anderson has 3 RBIs, and so far that has been all of the Tigers scoring. Two balls, no strikes on Jeff Larish. Inside, 3-0. Larish takes. There's a strike right at the knees. Up with the right hand goes Phil Cuzzy. Jeff thought it was a skosh low, but not the case. After the bunt single, Linebrink has come back to strike out 2. Fouled away off the catcher's mask. Knocked it off of Pierzynski. 3-2. There's Granderson hoping he can have a shot. Curtis with a tough 0 for 5 today.
Yes, those are tough days.
Popped in the air toward left. Quentin is there, and the White Sox win game 1 of the series. So Chicago continues its dominance over the Tigers. They win game 1, 10-6 our final score. Back to wrap things up right after this.